Check one, check two, testing, here we go. Hello and welcome to Three Things with JR. I'm JR. We're back. It's episode number 152. It's the 14th episode of season 5. Just so you know where you're at in the chronology of Three Things with JR. A couple things at the top here before we get into some things. You should head on over to tobefair.com. That's TOBEFARE.com. And check out the Plan B. As you probably know, the Kickstarter didn't work, but we were able to go down to Raleigh, North Carolina, and record 16 songs. That went really, really well. And you should check out Small Things Considered for a full recap of how the recording went. And just you have a chance here to support us and get something out of it, like say your own vinyl, your own CD, your own digital downloads of Gary's past library of music that has been newly remastered. It's exciting stuff, and I'm happy to be a part of it, and you can be a part of it too. Go to tobefair.com. Also, I am sure Gary and I are very excited to record our next episode of Small Things Considered. There's plenty to talk about going on in the world of the presidential election. Kamala Harris, now the front runner for VP or for presidential. Kamala Harris, now the front runner for the Democratic nomination, and I'm pretty freaking excited about that. So excited I ordered a shirt. I saw it on my TikTok feed, and I just ordered it right there on TikTok. It's got 4 pictures of it in order. It's got Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and under those names it says hope, hate, heal, grow. And I think that's perfect. That sort of sums up what each one of those people are about. So be prepared, everybody, to vote in November. And I hope you're as excited as I am that we now have someone that we can vote for. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, it is undeniable that there is one person in this election who is inscrutable, who is someone who has a reputation for being a good person, a good, decent human being who has love in her heart and not hate in her heart, who doesn't spew lies all the time, who isn't a convicted felon, and who genuinely wants to be a president for the people, not just over top of ruling over the people, but leading us and growing with us and helping us become a better nation. So vote in November, and let's make this happen, people. If you've been wondering why I have not been doing any new What Is It About You videos, it's that basically I didn't plan it this way, but I just kind of took the summer off. It's been kind of nice not having a video to edit and put out every week, and I am going to be ramping back up here in the end of the summer, going into the fall. Especially, I don't know why, but I tend to pile on. I'm going to be extremely busy starting in early September with rehearsals for the next show that I'm in. Officially can't say anything about that yet. I'm sure there will be a public announcement coming soon, but I will have about 5 nights of rehearsal every week, and I will probably come home and edit videos and get them out and do podcasts and all of that. So I'm going to go from not having much to do or not giving myself much to do each evening after work and on weekends to trying to do too much. And that's kind of the way I live my life. I kind of dig it. I actually have 2 videos that I have filmed for What Is It About You. They've been filmed for months now, but I just haven't touched them in the editing bay yet. And that changed yesterday. I've got them loaded up, and I am beginning the edit on a few new What Is It About You videos that I'm very excited about. I hope you'll like them. I hope you like the videos so much that maybe you watch them on YouTube, you hit the thumbs up, you like them, you subscribe to the channel, and you can actually support the efforts for What Is It About You if you go over to the webpage wiiay.com. That's What Is It About You, but wiiay.com. There is merch that you can purchase. You can also watch the videos. I've got a blog up there. I'll be updating all of that in the near future. And I'm pretty excited about some new What Is It About You content coming at you in the next few weeks and months. So check it out. All right. I think that's it for the top of the show. Let's do some things.
Thing number one.
Man, it's been so much fun having Chester and Megan and Aria and Malia, my son and his wife and my two granddaughters in America. They are normally stationed in Okinawa, Japan, but are here for 40 days, and we are nearing the end of their time here stateside. And we have done a whole bunch of fun things together. It's been wonderful. Couple highlights here in the last week or so. We went to a Nats game. That was with the four of them, plus my daughter and granddaughter, Allison and Aaliyah, and myself and my girlfriend Kiki. Went to a Nats game where we got to watch the Nats get completely shut out by the San Diego Padres. It was forecasted to rain, but it didn't really. It was sprinkled on us in the eighth inning, but that was not an issue. We didn't even get up from our seats. The stadium was awesome. The tickets were reasonably priced. The food was great. The kids get free food at Nats Park, hot dog, chips, and a drink. Man, it was just a fun time. We even got on camera on the Jumbotron in the stadium. You know how they go around doing like a kiss cam and then a dance cam and then a smile cam, and then they just focus the camera on people all around the stadium, smiling, kissing, dancing, doing whatever. Well, during the dance cam, Aria, my 10-year-old granddaughter, was standing up dancing from the minute they started that song, and fourth or fifth picture in on the Jumbotron was Aria dancing with all of us. They had a wide shot. The whole family got in the Jumbotron. We couldn't have been more excited. We were not fast enough with our phones to get a video or picture of it. We just lived it in the moment and had a great time. So yeah, the game itself sucked. The Nationals are a baseball team that I love, but they are hard to care about as much as they used to be. Back when they were winning World Series and they had players who I could remember the names of that stayed with the team season after season, stuff like that. Anthony Rendon, Scherzer, Jason Worth, Zimmerman, and Trey Turner. I mean, it was just a great team, and it's harder to even know who's on the team these days. But no, it really wasn't about the Nats this time. It was about spending time with family doing a fun thing, and it was awesome. 2 days later, we all piled into vehicles and drove to King's Dominion. King's Dominion, for those that aren't here in Virginia, is an amusement park and with great rides. They've got wonderful rides. It is my home amusement park. It's the one I've been going to since as long as I can remember. I've been going there. We used to go there at least once a summer, usually around my birthday, towards the end of the summer, and it's I haven't been in a number of years. I'm not even sure how long it's been, but it's not something I do every year anymore. But man, did we have a good time. The kids, Aria and Malia, are 10 and 8. And when we got there, there's a big board that you can they stand up against to see how tall they are. And they got wristbands to show what rides they could ride on. And they were both barely tall enough to ride every ride. And we rode every ride. They were not scared of anything. They loved every second of the intense roller coasters, the Project 305, which used to be the Intimidator 305. We rode that thing 5 times. One time, we didn't even have to get off to ride it again. We went on a day where rain was forecast, and we went knowing rain was forecast, also knowing that because rain was forecast, probably a lot of people were going to get scared off. It was a Thursday, so not a weekend day. And boy, were we right. The rain hardly touched us at all. It sprinkled on us on one ride. That was it. There was some storm clouds that came through, but never materialized anything, lightning, thunder, nothing like that happened for us. And as a result, we got short lines on every single ride. Twisted Timbers is probably the coolest roller coaster around. That thing is intense. They have metal detectors. They make you empty your pockets into secure lockers that are free specifically and only for that ride because it is so intense. You will break your phone if it doesn't fall out of your pocket. Anything in your pockets is going to be in jeopardy on that ride. It is that intense of a roller coaster. And God, it was amazing. Also, kudos to Carlos. He was one of the ride attendants on Twisted Timbers. Kudos to Carlos specifically because this was an ongoing theme throughout the day. The question was I too fat to ride the ride? I've gained weight. I'm over 300 pounds. I've got a big belly, a big ass, wide hips, and I didn't exactly fit well on all of the rides. When we first got there, we went to the Dominator, big roller coaster, 4 people across, feet dangling. I could barely fit in the seats, and we couldn't get this restraint over top of me. I got denied on the first ride. But almost every ride after that, I was able to ride. And it was either just because they built them so that fat people could ride them, or because of people like Carlos. Carlos, see, on the newest rides, they're all computer controlled. There's a big screen showing every seat on the coaster train. And the light has to light up green, meaning the bar has to come down onto your waist or belly far enough to light up the green light to ensure that you are securely in the car. And the bar comes down. I couldn't pull it down far enough to make the green light come on. I told Carlos, I saw him. I said, "Hey man, you're gonna have to push hard. My belly can take it. Please help me get on this ride." He said, "I got you, man." And sure enough, when it was my turn, he came over and he started pushing that seat down. And the light lit up green. But then when he took his hands off of it, it didn't light up green. The green went away, and we're like, oh no. I'm like, go for it, Carlos. Push harder, man. I can take it. And he came down there and was jamming so hard on the restraint, and he got the green light, and I sucked my belly in. Carlos took his hands off, and it stayed green. And I was able to ride Twisted Timbers. So being fat did cause me to not be able to ride a couple rides, but Carlos and several other ride attendants went above and beyond to make it possible for me to ride. I wasn't super comfortable, I can say that, but riding a thrill roller coaster isn't about being comfortable. So I just sat and took it, and it was awesome. When I walk around King's Dominion, because I've been going there so long, every time I see a ride that is newer and replaced an old ride that I remember from years ago, I just envision that old ride, like the Shockwave roller coaster. There's a new ride that's in place of that. Volcano is the coolest roller coaster they've ever had, but that's gone. King Cobra was there years ago, many, many years ago. That's gone. Diamond Falls was neat. And they're changing the names of most of the rides. So I guess it's mainly because of either licensing deals, like the Intimidator 305 was probably licensed that name from NASCAR, Dale Earnhardt, whatever, and they don't pay for the licensing anymore, so it's changed the name, Project 305. The Italian Job stunt coaster is no longer that. It's just the backlot stunt coaster. But the biggest name change is the Rebel Yell is not the Rebel Yell anymore. It is the one roller coaster that has been there since the park opened in 1975. And we did a little research, and it's not official that they changed the name because of the Confederacy and the Civil War and the iconography of the Rebel Yell. However, it's understood that that's probably why they changed the name to Racer 75, a very un-iconic name that you don't really care about. It will always be the Rebel Yell to me, but I get it. It's how can I be for the taking down of statues commemorating horrible racists and not be for the name change of the Rebel Yell? I don't know. I am for the name change. It's hard. it's hard to stop calling it the Rebel Yell. It'll always be the Rebel Yell in my heart. But it is Racer 75 now, and I'm embracing that too. So anyway, King's Dominion was awesome. I got to ride with Megan. I got to ride with Chester. I got to ride with Aria. I got to ride with Malia. I got to ride with Allison. I even got to ride with Allison's boyfriend, Cody, who was afraid of most of the rides. So we had a great time at King's Dominion. That's the point. And it was probably the highlight for me of having Chester and Megan here stateside for a month or so. And I highly recommend King's Dominion. It's a great value when it comes to amusement parks. The ticket pricing, the way they do the all-day dining deal and all-day drink deal is I didn't walk out of there feeling like I spent way too much money. I came out of there feeling like it was a good value for the money. I don't know if you get that feeling when you go to places like Disney and Universal and all of that, but you definitely do at King's Dominion. Woo, all right, let's do thing two. Thing number two. Yes, I watched the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics, and I wasn't planning to. Kiki was coming home and she's like, "Hey, we should watch the opening ceremony." I'm like, gosh, I could watch another episode of The Bear or Shoresy or any other show that I'm into, but all right, well, let's give it a shot. Wow. We basically watched the whole thing. It was incredible, like nothing I've ever seen before from an opening ceremony. Most of them are snooze fests. But even the parade of athletes on boats down the Seine was fun to watch. And then they start doing all these musical performances all around the river. Lady Gaga across the river singing in French. And then the metal band on the side of a building sticking out the windows. Incredible. All of the visual video stuff they had going on with the guy doing parkour on the rooftops and carrying the torch. I was enthralled, couldn't take my eyes off of it. Absolutely loved it. And then after the speeches, the Eiffel Tower light show, by the way, the rain only added to the visual viewing experience from home. I don't know how horrible or annoying it would have been to have been there getting rained on, but watching from home, the rain only added to it. I thought the light show on the Eiffel Tower looked even better than it would have without rain, just because of the lights coming off the Eiffel Tower probably looked even more spectacular because there were raindrops for the lights to bounce off of. I just thought it looked amazing. And I got to tell you, couldn't care less about Celine Dion most of the time, but Jesus Christ, did she pull off an amazing feat singing from the Eiffel Tower triumphantly. She was incredible. As for the controversy surrounding the opening ceremony, I knew it was going to happen. I said it to Kiki. I said, I have a feeling there's going to be a bunch of people upset about this opening ceremony tomorrow. She said, why? I said, well, see that woman in the gold dress with the gold dancers, how she's grabbing her boobs, grabbing her crotch, stuff like that. And then there was, of course, the historic references like Marie Antoinette, headless, singing in the window of the building. The thing that looked like the Last Supper but wasn't the Last Supper, looked like a crazy French thing. The three people in the library that ultimately went into a bedroom and presumably had a ménage à trois. I just took this personally as, hey, this is France being France, embracing the French culture and the openness of it and the acceptance of it and the craziness of it. And this is France being France. You know, when the opening ceremonies are in China or Japan, they have those big drums. And I mean, this was Japan being Japan or China being China. I can't remember which one had the big drums, but they were awesome. But it was, nobody had a problem with them displaying what makes their culture and music and country unique. And this is what France was doing. And I loved every minute of it. And the fact that it bothers people does not bother me at all. If there's people out there that are going to not watch the Olympics because they had a ceremony where there were some things they didn't understand, great. Those people shouldn't get the joy of watching the rest of the Olympics. But I think that's silly. So anyway, the Olympics opening ceremony being performed all around the city of Paris. And then, of course, the freaking torch and the speedboat, Carl Lewis almost getting his face burned off by the Olympic torch in the wind on a speedboat on the Seine. The lighting of the cauldron itself was awesome. It is a hot air balloon. Holy crap. I mean, everything about it just energized me. It made me want to watch Olympics, which I think is kind of the point. So yeah, awesome. And as far as the Olympics themselves, badminton so far, pretty badass. I have always loved badminton, but to watch those people play it, it's incredible. That thing, the shuttle moves so fast. Enjoying it so far. We watched a little bit of eventing with the horses. And anyway, yeah, I'm all in on the Olympics, everybody. It's pretty great. All right, thing number 3. So while we were recording down in Raleigh, Brian and Gary and I, the 3 members of To Be Fair, in the evenings when we were finally done recording for the day, we would watch things on TV. And we had been talking about the show on Amazon Prime called The Boys. If you haven't seen The Boys yet, I'm not telling you to go watch it. You need to consider a couple things before you decide if you're going to go watch it. It might be for you. It might not be for you. But The Boys is about something similar to the superheroes you'll find in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, Iron Man, Thor, all the Avengers stuff, Hulk, all that stuff. As if they were real. So The Boys is about superheroes that are like that, but they're real. They're all part of a corporation. And so the name of the corporation is Vought. They would be the Marvel of this world, right? But Vought has its tentacles way deep, right? They make movies about these superheroes, but they don't have to spend all the money on the special effects because the superheroes can really do the things, right? That's kind of neat. But it's also mainly about how having that much power and influence over a society can really go wrong. From an individual superhero level to a corporate greed level to a political world domination kind of level. And we're into season, I think it's season 4 now, 3 or 4, whatever the most recent season is. I hadn't seen it yet. And so we were watching that in the evenings. And they pull no punches in this show. It is on the one hand hilarious, on the other hand absolutely gruesome. They pull no punches. Anytime someone gets killed, it's as gross as it can possibly be. Blood and guts squirting out. I mean, I can't even go into detail on it. It'll gross you out. It's just they seem to really enjoy going to whatever the next level is of gruesome, horrifying nastiness in the show The Boys. It's not a fun thing. The kids shouldn't even be in the same house with this show while it's on. And if you are a conservative person that doesn't like that kind of stuff, I wish you would watch it, but you're probably not going to like it. Anyway, we watched The Boys. So that's one thing we watched a bunch of while we were together. At one point, Gary insisted that we watch a movie that he's been wanting us as a band to watch for years now, and it's been around for a long time. It's the movie That Thing You Do, the Tom Hanks movie about a band that forms in a small town and goes big time, and the growing pains of a band like that. And that was awesome. I mean, it's just good 50s, 60s fun music, great music, a great story, funny characters, and it's all about a band. So we were thinking this is great. Thoroughly enjoyed the wholesomeness of That Thing You Do. Completely opposite of The Boys. And so we finished That Thing You Do, and we thought, what should we watch next? We weren't ready to go to sleep. So I was surfing around on, I believe it was Netflix, and found The Dirt, which is a dramatized version of the story of Motley Crue. Now, Motley Crue's a hair band from the 80s that I always thought they were a cut above most of the hair bands of the 80s, like Warrant and Whitesnake and stuff. Motley Crue seemed to be more genuinely a hair band than the other ones. And I can't say I was a huge Motley Crue fan, but I liked a lot of their songs quite a bit. Still do. I did not really know the story of Motley Crue, and The Dirt is based on the book or books written by the members of Motley Crue, who are all still alive, surprisingly, and they were heavily involved with the making of this movie. So this wasn't just about them, it was by them. And they made a movie that, as crazy as this sounds, seems like if you took That Thing You Do and combined it with The Boys, if that movie and that show had a love child, it would be The Dirt about Motley Crue. It pulls no punches. It shows you all the gory details, and it's freaking great. Really, really enjoyed The Dirt, all about Motley Crue. But if you're squeamish, don't go watch this, because it's going to show these guys in their horrible childhoods, in some cases, their horrible adolescence and young adult years and rock star life at its most depraved. But it's who they were, apparently. Pretty true. So That Thing You Do, highly recommend. The Boys, highly recommend, but don't go into it not knowing. And if you like those two together, then you should definitely watch The Dirt about Motley Crue. All right, that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for listening to Three Things with JR. Next week will be an episode of Small Things Considered, in which Gary and I get to talking about Kamala Harris and how she's going to squash Donald Trump like a bug. That is the hope and the dream. Get out there and vote in November, everybody. And I'll see you again here on this show in 2 weeks. In the meantime, check out tobefair.com, WIIAY.com, and have a great life, everybody. We'll see you.
It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
Before I was elected vice president, before I was elected United States Senator, I was elected Attorney General of the state of California, and I was a courtroom prosecutor before then. And in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds. Predators who abused women, fraudsters who ripped off consumers, cheaters who broke the rules for their own gain. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.